What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Restoration Rundown Podcast, the podcast that's dedicated to you, the restoration business owner. My name is Ben Riccardi from Ironclad Restoration Marketing, and I'm the author of the No BS Guide to Internet Marketing for Restoration Contractors. Now, the Restoration Rundown is your source for everything related to managing and owning your restoration business, from bringing on special guests and sharing success stories to taking deep dives with our team here at Ironclad Restoration Marketing into all of the online channels that you need to be tapping into to get visibility for your restoration business and get more leads from the internet. We've got you covered. So buckle up and get ready for the rundown.
What is up, everybody? Bam, I shaved. If you're watching this on YouTube, I no longer have a beard right now, but it is in the process of growing back. If you're just listening to this on audio or one of the streaming platforms, you don't care about my beard and you've probably never seen it, but I did have a nice hefty looking red beard, especially in that intro when I recorded that, but had to shave it. It's getting hot down here in South Florida. I need to make sure my chin still existed. So anyways, welcome to the Restoration Rundown. We've got a very special episode lined up for you today. It's somebody that I've been working with very closely for the last few months. And if you are familiar, or if you haven't been living in a cave, she is the editor-in-chief for R&R Magazine, taking on a huge role with R&R, but making huge strides, fixing some things and really getting R&R out there and really helping out the restoration industry. So I want all of you out there to help me, join me in welcoming Kayla McGowan from R&R Magazine, the editor-in-chief. Can I just call you Chief? Is that okay?
That's totally fine. Thanks for having me, Ben.
Kayla, thank you for your time. I know you've got a ton going on with the upcoming experience in Punta Gorda. If anybody's watching this on YouTube, you see the dates back there, April 8th through 10th. And if you've listened to the podcast, you know that I am going to be speaking, doing my little TED Talk out there at the experience, trying to help out restoration contractors, get more sales and leads from the internet. Kayla, again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. But listen, we always start this off. I want to get to know you a little bit, right? We've gotten to know each other over the last few months. You've recently taken this role on as a fall of 2024. So I think you got thrown into the fire a little bit, but your calm demeanor, the way you technically just go through things, I think has really been a benefit for you and everybody else that's involved in R&R. I see a lot of big things happening on the website. So before we get into that, why don't you walk the audience through kind of your background, because I know it's very extensive in the restoration world, and then kind of how that led you up to becoming the chief of R&R Magazine online.
Yeah, for sure. So I stumbled into this industry, as many of us do if we are not born into this industry. I started at the IICRC. I was there for about 7 years or so. And I just kind of really fell in love with this space, right? You know, it was not just a job. It was something that I became really passionate about, from, you know, what our techs are doing in the field to what our volunteers do to bring standards to life, certifications. I mean, I got to know ISSA and RIA and all of these great organizations within our space, and it kind of just grew on me. I actually tried to leave the space for a little bit, but man, it sucked me right back in. I came back, and I came in on the estimating side, honestly, and it opened my eyes to a lot of issues that we see that aren't always talked about. Now they are, but when I first came into this industry, it just wasn't talked about that much. And so, you know, I grew another love and respect for everything that we do in this space. And since then, I've really been in the boat to just collaborate with everybody, hear why people love what they do, where we can be better, you know, how we can collaborate better. And so that's kind of where I ended up in this role as editor-in-chief with R&R. I've known the Balzanos for quite some time and worked with them before, and the opportunity presented itself. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. You know, let's do this and let's see what we can do, not just for R&R and the experience, but the industry. I think that there's so much to be had. We are so much further than where we were 10 years ago. And there's still so much more we can do, right? And I think that's kind of where my love and passion lies in this space. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Stumbled upon it, but here to stay. I definitely know that there's some stuff that can be done here in the future. We're working on some great stuff. You know, we've got the Marketing Minute. You know, you're speaking at the experience, and just just bouncing stuff off of each other, I think is what really drives me the most.
Yeah, and I think that definitely comes through. We've spoke a lot, and just to recap there, you mentioned the Ironclad Marketing Minute. That's one of the things that we've done collectively, Ironclad Restoration Marketing, my agency here, our digital marketing agency, and we provide digital marketing services just for the industry. And I thought it was a natural fit. R&R Magazine is just one of the best resources, well, one of the only resources out there, really. And what I like about not only what you bring to the table, but what R&R does is the idea is really just this collective collaboration of people that are like-minded, that are trying to help each other out. The competition word is not there. And things like the Ironclad Marketing Minute, which is free, value-based information on how you can win online, are just one of the many things that you guys are doing there. I love the Ask the Experts, the expert series that you do, especially Anissa. I love them. The Firehouse Academy. That's a great channel. So for anybody out there, and I'm going to get into this a little bit, but anybody out there who's looking for free resources and people and mentorship and anything you can think of, and you don't want to listen to me. I mean, I've gotten written articles there. We've got the monthly marketing minute, but there's just so much out there that you can learn. So I mentioned before, if they don't know what R&R Magazine is, they might have been living under a rock, especially if they're in the restoration or cleaning industry. So can you just walk everybody in their caves right now that might be listening to this that don't know or maybe not aware of R&R Magazine, kind of what you guys are all about, what you do, and then maybe how to get in touch with you guys if they're interested in learning more?
Yeah, for sure. So, like you said, we touch cleaning, restoration, inspection, health and safety, and we're a free resource. I think that's one of the key things, right? Um, our goal at the end of the day is to provide information that is not just technical, but just news updates, all of the above. It's everything and it's free. We are a multi channel publication. We're on social media, we're on our website. You've got newsletters, ask the expert. We love to collaborate as well, right? And I think this is the opportunity that we want to present. That's everybody is welcome to contribute, right? No matter if you're just starting out in the industry, if you've been in the industry for 10, 20 years, or you're on the tail end of your career. Everybody has something to offer. And I think that we provide a very safe space for people to provide their opinions or questions, right? And
Yeah.
that's what allows us to be a better industry where we welcome even controversial topics, right? I think that
Sure.
there's a time and a place to talk about things because chances are somebody else is feeling that too.
Mhm.
And that's really what we're all about, is just providing key information, whether it's trends or, like you said, ask Anissa. She has a 3-part series right now about the California wildfires. They are
Yeah.
heavy into that stuff. And, I think everybody has something to provide, just like you said with the marketing minute. There is marketing in everybody's business, whether you're handling it or somebody else is handling it for
That's right.
you. These videos provide you key information to understand what should you be looking for, what questions should you be asking, right? Because as business owners or project managers or technicians, sometimes you have questions, but maybe you don't know where to start. And that's what these resources are all about. And not only that, there's how-to guides, right? Maybe you want to show yourself do something, but you don't have the time to actually stop what you're doing. Have them read this how-to guide, or maybe something on health and safety, and then have them come back and ask you those questions. It's a better relationship building tool
Mhm.
too. I would definitely say that as well. So the goal for us is to be the best we can possibly be and provide information that's relevant to everybody in our space. Um, and really that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
and then obviously the experience, we get to bring that to life where we're in person, we're having hands-on and all of that. So I think it's kind of the best of all worlds. We'll come and collaborate with you too. I think that's the other thing, is you don't have to come collaborate with us. We can come collaborate with you. It's definitely a two-way street, and
Mhm.
that's how we run our business here.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that background. And you can, anybody out there, you should, R&R Magazine should be on your radar. R&R Magazine or Mag Online. That's where all the resources are. You touched base on something that I want to talk about. And first of all, I think you undersold yourself a little bit, because we've talked. You interviewed me for the website just when we were kind of getting to know each other. And I'm kind of impressed. I'm very impressed on everything you bring to the table, because it's not every day you have an editor-in-chief of an industry-specific magazine that's got a background in marketing. And I think your background is more, you've been there, done that, versus like so you're coming to this at like a little bit of an angle, more so kind of like I am. It's a real world application of this stuff. So one of the things that I think that you bring to the table for everybody collectively, being the editors, you have a different eyeball. So you're looking at it from being in the trenches versus, hey, I learned XYZ in school. This is what it should look like, but it's not practically possible of what there. So I definitely appreciate that. But one of the things we talked about back when you interviewed me for R&R Magazine is the importance of being involved as a business owner in these types of associations, or we'll talk about the experience, these kind of conferences where you get a chance to network with your peers, you get a chance to sit in these education tracks, you get a chance to really figure out the ins and outs of it, and it kind of weeds out those people that are probably looking at things and looking at their business wrong. For instance, the people that are looking at their competition and calling it competition versus, hey, I'm looking at this guy that's beating me out on Google, or their revenue's through the roof. What am I doing wrong or different? And the beauty about what you guys bring to the table and the experience event is you get a chance to network with these people. And really, I've not seen anybody that's been turned away. I would have no problem with a marketing agency coming up and say, what are you guys doing? Like, how is this working? I love it. I firmly believe in the giver's gain mentality. And at Ironclad Restoration Marketing, we preach the omni-channel approach. And one of the channels has zero to do with digital marketing, and it is joining industry associations and attending these events. So I'd like for you to speak to maybe your experience with this. I know you were coming on like right after the Vegas one that I was out at, but what do you expect for restorers that are thinking about, or maybe on the fence about visiting beautiful Punta Gorda, if that's not enough to sell you on it? What can you tell people that they can expect from coming to an event like this outside of what I just mentioned?
Yeah, so I would definitely say you hit on some key points there where everybody is welcome, right?
Yeah.
And in our space, and I have this mentality, I know a lot of us share this mentality, is really there is no competition. There is so much business out there, and at some point you're going to actually have to call on your quote unquote competition to actually help you, because there's a time where you as a business owner or management are going to have to say, hey, we can't handle this project, but I know somebody who can. And that's what this is all about. Not only are you getting educational sessions that are going to help you better your business in business management, marketing, restoration, cleaning, health and safety, just collaboration and all of that. There's also hands-on. Some of this stuff is going to tie into hands-on in the pavilions for both cleaning and restoration. We have some great people coming out. I know we have Dr. Gavin McGregor Skinner. We have Sean Basilion. We have Lisa Lavender, Brandon Adams. I mean, there's so many people that are coming out to help. You were speaking to on Wednesday. You're kicking off Wednesday morning for us. Yeah. Wednesday morning. You're kicking off Wednesday morning for us. And, I think it's just really key to, have people like yourself out there, because look, you were in a position where you once entered this industry, right? And it's a little scary. I think that's the other thing is like this event, and even the one in the fall, it doesn't matter where you are in your career, right? This is the opportunity to come to Punta Gorda, where it's beautiful, sunny, warm. Especially if you're a bird, it's refreshing, right? To have some warmth. And you're able to ask questions, right? You're able to have like a one-on-one connection. And that's the one thing that I really like about the spring event, because we're able to stop people and talk to each other, have the opportunity. We were just talking about this, to podcast, right? You can come by our booth or stop Ben and have the opportunity to shoot a little 10, 15-minute podcast or interview or whatever the case may be. And that's the beautiful thing about this, is because it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what space you're in. You could be in cleaning and approach a restoration professional or vice versa. And that's what this is all about. It's about networking, right? There's going to be people from associations there, like the IICRC. You have Normie there. I think we're even going to have some people from the HVAC side of things, and we are heavy into that, right? So I think that there's opportunity to kind of get a mix of not just our industry, but other sub industries that we work with, as far as like HVAC, industrial hygienists. I mean, we have a variety of people coming out to not only help educate, but make connections, right? Because they work with us too. So that was kind of a long-winded way to say, it's a great way to build yourself up, your business up, but also make connections and potentially have a mentor or find somebody to mentor, which is a really great way to help our industry thrive.
Yeah, I think that's, again, why it's so important in our circle of omni-channel approach or omni-channel or omnipresence. We call it the ironclad omnipresence. Is you can learn from people, right? It's very expensive. Let's just talk about digital marketing. Between LSA, SEO, Google Business Management, if you're paying a third party, you're paying a lot of money. Those leads that you're buying or you're getting from LSA or even Inquirely or some of the lead generations are very expensive. So, and also time is money. So, with how long it takes to succeed with organic search, local search and things like that, like you can't be wasting time. And unfortunately, in my industry, just like every other industry, there are a lot of companies that are just banking on the ambiguity of those types of services, and they're putting business owners in bad positions. So I love the fact that you guys are expanding out to the HVAC community, because at the end of the day, they're all home services, right? The way we market home services, albeit you have different clientele, and that's going to change things a little bit, but in general, it's the same type of digital marketing. You're using and relying on the same channels. So it's beautiful for maybe somebody just starting out. Maybe somebody is just now getting into a point where they have a budget where they can afford to pay an agency, and they want to know if the agency they hired is doing the right thing, even on those micro levels, or even if it's learning how to remediate something properly, or what their experience is with it. Because we all know residential restoration is a much different animal than commercial. So if you're breaking into one of those two, I'm sure there's a lot of questions. And most of the people that are successful have dealt with the worst of the worst and the best of the best. So you get a chance to kind of bounce ideas off each other. So it's huge for your business to go into this. And I know we didn't want to turn this into a complete plug for the experience, but I think it's really important that people show up. If the event and everything we're talking about isn't enough to sell you on coming down there, Punta Gorda is a beautiful place. We're over here. My Ironclad Restoration Marketing is based in West Palm Beach, so we're like on the other coast of Florida. I believe it's more beautiful, but Punta Gorda, man, if you're coming from like Illinois or something like that, it's like going to a postcard. So I'm really looking forward to the event. And I just now found out that I'm speaking and kicking off the event on Wednesday. No, I'm just kidding. We knew, we've already plugged it. And if anybody's planning on coming out, sign up. We're going the 9th at 9:30 in the morning. I guess I'm kicking off the 9th. I am like a shot of espresso, Cuban coffee. So if you're sleepy, tired, or you went out too late on Tuesday night, don't worry about it. I'll get you woken up really fast and run you through like a quick rundown of everything you need to know about marketing. Shameless plug for my track there. So if you're planning on attending, I'd love to meet you. The other thing you talked about is just this networking aspect. I know you're like an open book. I know that I can lean on you and ask you questions about anything, and you'll take the time to answer, to put me in touch with the people that do. I want to extend that invitation out to anybody that's planning on going out there. I'm really easy to get in touch with. And if you can't get in touch with me, I'm really easy to hear because I'm loud and I talk a lot. So you should be able to find me running around there. But if you're struggling with anything, please get in touch with me. I'm going to have a couple team members out there from Ironclad Restoration Marketing that are much smarter than I am, that might be able to kind of digest what you're dealing with and give you a hand, because I firmly believe in that giver's gain mentality. We want to be able to help people out there, whether that's even just to affirm that you're doing the right thing. A lot of people struggle with just the ambiguity of these services. Like, am I really doing the right thing here? Because I'm like 4 months in and I'm not really getting the calls. And it's really nice to be able to even, I want to make myself approachable to where I can answer those questions for you. I'm not trying to get anything in return. Sometimes that's to our detriment. We do have an agency to run. So sometimes I'm like, give it away. Between the book and the podcast. I love events like this because I get a chance to meet everybody out there. The 4 or 5 followers or listeners of this podcast, I get a chance to maybe run into one of you. But so let's talk about the experience, everything about the experience. So we know it started April 8th. What can people expect? And then also, how do they get in touch if they haven't signed up yet? Like, run everybody through this experience event, what it's about, and then what we can expect in the future. Because I know you've got some big plans for it.
Yeah, for sure. So big plans, I'll save that the best for last, I will definitely say. But for anybody who hasn't attended or there's a little bit of a change for this event in particular this year. The first day on Tuesday, the 8th, is all education. So you're not having to pick and choose. It's straight education. We've got some great speakers. We've got Brandon Adams, Amanda Stichter. We've got Patty Olinger. She's talking on the cleaning. Nick Lambert. There's so many people. Anissa Coy and all of them are talking too on the first day. And that's all education. You're going to get 8 hours of education, which is key, right? I think that's the key thing. You're not just getting education. You have the opportunity to take somebody to lunch that day. There's networking breaks. And then on Wednesday, Wednesday, Ben's kicking off the day. We're going to do the first half. We're going to have education and then one of our keynotes. And then we're going to have Expo Hall open from 11:30 to about 3:30 or so. And then we're going to have additional education. We don't usually do that, but to make sure that everybody was getting the maximum in session and on the Expo Hall floor with the hands-on, we've done education after on both Wednesday and Thursday. But on Wednesday, we're also having a industry party, right? We're going to be outside. We're going to be mingling for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. There's a tiki bar out there, just to have the opportunity to get to know everybody. In the middle of the conference, right? I think that's the other thing is it's day two, after everybody's had 2 days of education and 1 day of expo, we get to relax and get to know each other.
They'll probably
Everybody's
need
super
a drink after
approachable.
listening to me too. They'll probably be ready for that tiki bar after my track.
You're like, wait, where was that tiki bar again?
Yeah.
But I think it's the opportunity to just relax, but also
Uh,
enjoy everything that's coming in as far as education wise. So with that being said, if you have not registered, you can go to rnrmagonline.com/the experience conference, and you should be all set to register. You can see the agenda. You can learn more about the speakers on the agenda. If you click on a session, you can actually pull up and see who's speaking, what they're talking about, and their background. So you can already grab some information about them prior to even going and sitting in their sessions. What this is about is really to make sure that you're able to sit into a session, walk out and be like, I can apply that to my business. Or, hey, maybe I need to do this a little bit better, right? That's the whole goal of this. And also networking. I think that's the other thing. This is about networking, mentoring. We know that it's a struggle right now to find some great employees in the space, especially the younger generation. And this is the opportunity to do so. We also have Dr. Jake Avila speaking about the MTSU initiative to bring a bachelor's program to MTSU with a focus of restoration. And so that may be a key way for you to say, hey, what's the plan for this? How can I plug in to help my business thrive for years to come? So there's so much opportunity to be had, and I look forward to it. I actually attended the experience myself for many years prior to coming on into this role. And so this is near and dear to my heart. There's been a lot of thought that's been put into this as far as who's speaking and all of that. And like you said, there are changes to come in the future. In the fall, I have some great ideas. I won't share them yet. You'll have to come find me at the experience. I'll share them with Ben later. But, I have some really key ideas for us to make our events that much better, right? They're already great, but I think, this is the opportunity to make things the best that they can be. And it's not that they haven't been the best, but we all strive for perfection. And that's, even though that's not really realistic, but I think there's some things that we can do, like bringing in other sub industries to come and speak, maybe having more of our manufacturers come and see what we offer. There's so much opportunity to get another perspective and make us all better at the end of the day. And so that's kind of what my ideas are, and always providing a space for everybody to ask questions.
Sure.
Meet and greet new people. So yeah, that's really what this is all about. But one hint that I do have for future of the experience is what you guys want to see is a possibility. So if you guys have ideas, come and see me and we can make some stuff happen. That is the nicest thing I can say, the best hint I can give right now. But with that being said, we control what we make this industry, and what better way than to have our industry professionals give us the insight.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Metallica will be performing in Vegas at the Experience event in September of 2025. I'm sorry I couldn't hold it in any longer, but you just said what we want to see, we can see. But I think, just kidding. Maybe they are. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I'm trying to put a little pressure on Kayla to get Metallica there or somebody like that. So, one of the things too, if we can just hit this home a little bit more, I think that the difference that I'm expecting just from my short time knowing you is that your years of experience in this industry, I liken it to somebody that's a huge fan of like a movie series, and then they get to direct the next movie based off of their experience, what they know being in the trenches, what they want to see from a convention. And I think that anybody that's signing up for this is going to have a much better, not to say the other experience events, because I think they were fantastic, but I think it's going to be a lot different. We're gearing this more towards who our target audience is going to be. So I'm looking forward to Punta Gorda. I'm honored that you guys would have me go speak on stage there. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got some cool stuff to go over. I'm going to be speaking much faster than I am now because I've only got an hour to go through like 9 hours of stuff. I'm basically going through the 13 chapters of my book in 45 minutes, but I plan on being there, and I'm an open book. I'm going to bring some books with me. So if anybody's looking to get some FaceTime with me, just I'm easy. Shoot me an email. I did drop the link to the conference to register, see the agenda and everything. It's ticking across the bottom. If you're just listening to this on Spotify, check out YouTube. Then you can get this link, but it's rnrmagonline.com/the-experience-conference. And you can get all the information out there. Or if you're lazy like I am, just go to Google and type in the Experience Conference Punta Gorda. You'll get everything you have there. I just been looking for a minute at all these speakers. I mean, it's crazy how many people you guys got to come and contribute to this. Again, I'm easy to get in touch with. You can find my contact info on the Experience site, on R&R Magazine site. So if you want to get some FaceTime, I am open to steak dinners, lunches. I eat steak 3 times a day, and I like steak. So if you want to talk, I'll always do that over a coffee or a steak or a beer at the end of the night. But I plan on being there the 3 days, and I'm really looking forward to it. Kayla, I know you have a lot going on. I know that we're going to try to wrap this up soon, but I'm going to put you on a spot a little bit. All right. What's 9,325,000 squared divided by 3? Just kidding.
Gosh.
So one of the
I
things,
have no idea.
Great answer. Perfect. That's exactly right. What I would write in there if I was, no. So one of the things that we want to do here with this episode, I know we talked a lot about your background, the experience and everything. Because you have so much experience being in the trenches and in most facets of the restoration industry, I'd like you to identify one of the biggest problems that you see in the industry right now, and maybe just a simple way, something actionable. Anybody who I'm sure everybody kind of is struggling with the same stuff, something they could do to overcome that challenge.
Ooh, that's a good question. So I would definitely say one thing that I've seen in my 10 years in this industry is everybody has ideas, great ideas, but we all look at one another to implement these ideas, right? So I think some key things that we can talk about are, I know the insurance claims process is a big topic, I guess, if you will say.
Yep.
And I'm starting to see people take action. For example, Mark Springer is now the carrier advocate for RIA, and he is providing insights on that, right? Well, how else can the rest of the industry get involved and do something like that? So the other thing I would definitely say is the labor shortage that we have, right?
Yeah.
We have a labor shortage right now. There is no denying that. And it's really in all industries. It's not just ours. But for us, what can we do? And the way to solve these problems are, one, leaning on MTSU for their stuff, or two, coming together and saying like, hey, I don't want to be the chief, but I have ideas. Let's come together and let's figure out how we can do it and make it better, right? And I think those are the two things that really stick out to me right now. I also think the third thing, I know you only asked for one, but one other thing that really one thing that really stands out to me is we see restoration, we see cleaning, we see inspection, we see this, that, and the other all separate. Yeah. We're actually one. We are one industry. We don't have a name, if I'm being quite frank. And we all need to understand what each other does. And we also need to understand when we need to call on somebody to help us, right? And that's the biggest thing. There should not be any separation. We have done a lot better in the last 10 years, I will definitely say, but I still think that there's room for improvement. And there's some people speaking on that at the Experience about how we can help one another, how we can actually expand our business model. And so I think those are some ways that we can problem solve, and that's what you can look forward to in this space. And for me, the role that I will play and R&R will play is we will help be the conductor, right? We will help share the information. We will help make the connections. We will give updates. And we will try our best to get some of this stuff at the experience for everybody to see it live and in person.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you wrapped that up with a bow. It was beautiful. I was expecting, to try to throw you off your game there, but hey, testament to you and your education, your background. So at the end of the day, listen, it's execute, get involved, and educate and network. I mean, that's the name of the game. And it's funny. I don't know if you meant to put those three things that way, but that's what the experience event is all about, in my opinion. It's going to these events, and I do it all the time. Listen, I own a digital marketing agency. We've been in the restoration industry, serving the restoration industry since like 2016. And we're part of we need coaching, right? My team members are always, we're part of events and coaching. We got to go learn. I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. I want to be able to learn if I'm going to go spend my time doing something. And one of the things I know separates people that are successful versus the non-successful, because we all have the same resources, we all have the same capabilities for the most part, is executing and getting involved and really just picking those top three things that you need to implement and be better and actually implementing them. So I am looking forward to the experience, guys. Once again, April 8th through 10th, 2025 at the Charlotte Harbor Event and Conference Center in Punta Gorda, Florida. West Coast of Florida is a beautiful place. You go to R&R Mag online. The link's in the bottom here. We will also share the link in the notes here when we get this live and published. Kayla, thank you so much for taking your time out today. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It seems like it's coming up very quickly. So we're looking forward to seeing you. And listen, if you guys need to get any more information, or you want to check out the Ironclad Marketing Minute, go over to R&R Mag online. You can pretty much anything you're struggling with, you can find a solution and a person that you can lean on. And I'm pretty sure everybody's contact information is there. So if they're on the website, they're contributing, shoot them an email. Shoot me an email, give me a call. I'd be happy to help you out. And I know Kayla will do the same, guys. So make sure you sign up. If you are, give me a shout. I'll be there running around. I'll have some free books to be given away, maybe even some t-shirts that are really cool. Kayla, got you a shirt coming for you as well. I really appreciate your time. Anything else you want to share with anybody before we get out of here?
No, I would just say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ben, thank you for the opportunity. And I would also like to say, Ben mentioned everybody is available, right? And I think that's how we make our industry a better space. So please take Ben up on that. Take me up on that. I am available. You can call, text, email. We will get it done for you. And thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you guys in April.
Likewise, Kayla. We'll see you then. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That was Kayla McGowan from R&R Mag Online. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have the time, share our show, the Restoration Rundown podcast, with all your friends. We're streaming on every single platform. Follow us on social media. Go to ironcladrestorationmarketing.com. I have a lot of resources on there, hundreds and hundreds of videos for literally anything you might be struggling with when it comes to marketing for your business and making money and scaling and growing. We just launched 3 new free resource guides on LSA management. So it's the LSA 101 that the LSA team, Yaz, and the rest of the team doing our LSA management for our clients out there put together for you. Absolutely free of charge. We have a Google Business Profile free how-to guide for Google Business Profile, something a lot of people struggle with, but one of the most powerful tools you can leverage to get leads for your business. That's live on the website. These are absolutely free. And we have the Ultimate Internet Marketing Checklist, all free. All you have to do is put your email in. We'll send you the PDFs. You get to learning. And if you need more info, all my webinars, all my resources, my 300 or 400 YouTube videos are right there on ironcladrestorationmarketing.com. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you at the experience April 8th through the 10th, and I'm speaking on the 9th at 9:30 a.m. Until next time, good luck out there.